Hit it again.
I looked underneath and I came to the conclusion that it's a straight pipe.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Ljs Garage. I've got an E63 AMG S for your viewing pleasure today, so stay tuned as Keith gives us a little walk around and tour of this beauty. Does the bi-turbo mean it's...
I mean, honestly, from my perspective, I think it's just the first fancy name of saying twin turbo. The cool thing about Mercedes, a lot of people don't know about, is this one. Like, say you're working on your car, you know, sometimes you don't have enough room. You might be a bigger guy, 8 feet tall or whatnot.
Yeah.
Check this out. This bad boy goes all the way up.
See, that's new to me.
I haven't really seen any cars that do that. Definitely an awesome feature. LED headlights, pretty much standard on all newer cars. Got all your different sensors, parking sensors and whatnot. Huge radiator intercooler type setup. Great cooling system. Keep this motor cool. They're handcrafted and they're signed by the whoever made it. So one thing I will mention is a lot of these, they have issues with these the air ducts. This part right here, for whatever reason, it's like a very soft thin material. So when you get into like a little bit higher mileage, a lot of times those will crumble up and break. But the good thing is it's a very easy, cheap fix. Probably about $40 per tube.
Okay.
Not bad at all. And you can install it in less than a minute.
How do they fit this all in here? This is...
Yeah, it's insane.
Wow.
So the engine size on this is, I believe it's a 5.4, almost a 5.5 liter displacement.
I think most people round up on these, yeah. Call it 5.5.
Yep.
What was that horsepower again?
577 horsepower, 590 foot-pounds of torque.
Ooh.
Yep.
You know the 0 to 60?
0 to 60 about?
Or what they say you're supposed to get.
Oh, it'll get it. It's 3.4, 3.5 seconds.
That's insane, especially still competitive nowadays.
Yeah, and it's pretty consistent too. You don't have to worry about, you know, wheel spin or nothing like that.
Yeah.
As long as you you got the good fuel in it, it'll do it, and good tires.
The good fuel.
Yeah. It takes premium, nothing less. So you gotta have at least 91. So maintenance-wise, I've heard, you know, a couple thousand to do pads and rotors. And then so aftermarket, I've got the tire caps on them. Okay. Pretty cheap mod if you wanted to do that. And a nice little addition people don't know about is this piece right here. It actually comes off. You just turn it to the left, and then boom. kind of hides in the lug nuts, gives a better appearance.
Yeah, simple.
And then one extra step if, you know, somebody's trying to steer your wheels. These wheels are the original AMG wheels. They do come forged, which is very rare. Forged wheels are like crazy expensive, and it's nice to have it stock from the factory. Nothing too crazy about the back. You got a nice little diffuser at the bottom. It's got quad exhaust, but I can't remember if it's real true. Yeah, it's not real true quad exhaust. It's just a dual exhaust. Yeah. And then we'll pop the trunk.
Yeah.
It's got a button underneath. All right. Good old trunk.
Oh, you got plenty of space back here.
You definitely do. You got a good old med kit in here. Say you get into an accident or get shot or something, you got you got some stuff in there to help you out. Could save somebody's life. Definitely a good amount of trunk space. If you look underneath, the back seats, they actually drop. A lot of people don't know it, but they drop. They got these levers up here.
Yeah.
You just pull this, pull them both, and then they're basically unlocked. You got to pull them down yourself, I guess, the rest of the way.
Sweet.
So in here, this car has air suspension for the only for the rear. It's pretty nice. So
I knew I heard something.
Yep. So you'll hear that compressor releasing air and whatnot. So the back end will come up a little bit and it'll lower a little bit. Nothing crazy though. Even at the lowest setting, like you're still, it's not like a Corvette height, I'd say.
Yeah.
No issues over like steep driveways or nothing like that. You got a little bit more room underneath. This car actually comes with a legit spare tire, but I took it out to save a little bit of weight. I've got my my air pump in there, and then this is the auxiliary battery. I actually just replaced mine and forgot to put this tube back in. Let me go ahead and do that. And then this tube is supposed to divert the battery juices or whatever to take it somewhere safe instead of like spilling over, you know, your wires and the rest of the trunk and whatnot.
Yeah.
Good old electronic trunk. Just hit this button, walk away, bam, trunk closed. Nice little luxury feature.
Hit it again.
So all the luxury features you got in the front, leather seats and whatnot, that all transfers to the back seat. No money saved there, just good old luxury looking. And that pretty much shows you if you want to see how the seats come down and whatnot. The seats are very adjustable. One thing that's kind of like, I guess, different is you can adjust the headrest with the press of this button. Whereas most cars, it's like you just do it by hand. Yep. So you got your lumbar support, everything. This one, it actually comes with massaging seats as well. So say you have a rough day and just want to sit in and get a good old massage. Nothing better than driving and getting a massage. You're driving, like say you make a left turn, your right bolster will like kind of puffing up.
Oh,
so you can feel it, yeah.
Active bolsters.
Yeah.
This got everything.
Yeah, it's nice. These are like it's got the rubber ones on top, and then you got the standard, you know, carpet at the bottom. They say AMG on it. Got this the secret compartment right here. You might be able to fit some kind of protection in there if you want to. Don't quote me on that. Plus, and that M, that's for manual mode, and then RS. I believe that's for like if you want to use launch control. To do launch control, it's not too difficult. It's a little bit similar than like the BMWs usually. You basically gotta have your wheels straight, options, foot firmly down on the brake, and then gas, and it'll take off. The launch control feature is pretty good. I know some cars it's better to not even use it and just do the regular old school brake and gas, but I'd recommend it.
How often do you use the dial pad?
I haven't touched it yet, to be honest.
How many phone numbers do you have memorized still? That's the real question.
911.
You got your girlfriend's number memorized?
No, only 911. That's
I'm
the only
leaving
one
that in.
The steering wheel, pretty neat, racy steering wheel. Got the flat bottom on it. Got nice little leather, great feel to it. Even though this one's a little bit higher mileage, this one's aged pretty well still. The quality and the materials are they're great, really hold up. Where you're like, oh, like a high mileage, you know, luxury car, I don't know if I want to do that, but
yeah. For me too, like what do you consider high mileage, and what's this one running at?
This one's at about 118,000.
Okay. And so you weren't playing yet.
No, a lot of times you can't even look at it until this got 118,000 miles.
I had to ask.
It's holding up pretty good.
Yeah, no, I really like this interior. The key looks nice too.
Yeah, it's a nice little key, AMG specific key. It's got the AMG logo on the back there.
Yeah, that's sharp.
And then it's got the push button feature as well. But yeah, it just pops in or whatever. If you want to use it, it's there for you. It's nice having options. You know, a lot of cars don't do that. They're like, oh, you better push button start this car. All-wheel drive 4MATIC E63, you know, S model.
Yep.
Comes with, you know, a little bit more horsepower and performance over the regular E63. You know, pretty much a very good luxury, one of the more reliable AMGs. It's got a lot of different features. It's got different transmission modes. You got comfort mode, sport plus. Basically, the only thing it does is like with the transmission shifts faster. I feel like, you know, don't quote me on this, but I feel like comfort mode kind of robs you of power. Because even when you floor it in comfort mode, it doesn't feel like as fast as like sport or sport plus.
Gotcha. I know BMW, whenever you're in comfort mode, it basically is in like efficient engine tuning, so it does have a little bit of a little difference with the throttle. So probably what it is, I'd assume so.
Yep. And then so also with comfort mode, you got your start stop function, save you a little bit of fuel.
You actually use that thing?
I
Get you worried about the environment.
When I'm cruising, yeah, you know, gas prices being so high, it saves a little bit of fuel, and I'm not in a hurry, you know.
That's fair. That's fair.
And it, to me, it's like it's kind of cool, whatever. Like you pull it to a stoplight, car shuts off, and then when it turns on, it's like this monster just like comes alive, and just like such a beautiful sound. AMG really does a good job with their tuning and how they set up the sound and everything in this vehicle. What else we got here? So it's got an AMG button, and that's basically where you can save your buttons. A lot of people who get these cars, they normally set it up to where like full blown on, like they're about to race somebody type mode.
Yeah.
Like the stiffest suspension setting, traction control off, Sport Plus mode. So you just hit that button or whatever. Like say you got a Mustang pulling up on you, you know, trying to be tough. Hit that button and, you know, give them the works. Go ahead and take them out the Applebee's.
I like that. Cause I know you got two M buttons in the BMWs, but I like the AMG button. That just says it all.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie, this interior is growing on me just in the short time I've been in here. I might convert one of these days.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame if you did. You know, it's definitely my favorite car. I've had about 12 different sports cars, and this one by far is like pretty much better than all of them in almost every single way.
For sure.
Does everything so well.
Would you say like you normally like the straight line performance, or you like the handling? Like what? Because I know you've had the Camaro, you've had the Vet, you've had a lot of straight line cars, but
Maserati. Yeah, I mean the straight line performance, Corning, it handles pretty good. It is a bigger car, you know what I'm saying? So it's not as good as like a smaller wheelbase vehicle.
So the competition for this is like the M5s and like the Cadillac CTS-V, those types. Okay.
So speaking of which, so I used to have an ATS-V. I feel like the ATS-V does handle a little bit better.
Okay.
But you know that's a pretty amazing car as well. But for a full blown like big sedan or whatever that you can haul, you know, 4 people, get a decent amount of luggage, you know, this is great for that. And you know, it's not as quick as the Hellcat, but it's very quick. Most time like 0 to 60, like, you know, you're gonna beat them. Those cars have trouble dripping. I mean, I'm sorry, not dripping. And this car doesn't. For a car with, you know, over 500 horsepower, you could floor it, you know, from a dead stop, and it goes, you know. I'll roll down my window, look for a tire spin, and you won't hear it.
Yeah.
Even a lot of times, like taking a turn at like a high speed, very minimal, you know, tire tripping. And you know, of course, it's not just the car, but like you gotta have decent amount of tires. But it's amazing. Even in like the rain and stuff like that, I think I've only seen maybe like the traction control thing pop up maybe like once. Man. And you really got to be like trying really hard to get that to come on. Very safe car.
Yeah, you know, you pretty much covered that, because I know a lot of people always talk about the power that the Trackhawk, you know, the Hellcats, all of them have, even the TRX, but putting the power down is a different story.
For sure.
And I feel like that's one of the things that I like about the German cars, though, is that like you can get in them, drive them, and they make you feel like a great driver, because you don't get all that tire spin and everything. Even the launch control is so like behaved. It's not like, you know, tire spin, smoke, and all that stuff, which is what some people love. Right. So sometimes I want to do that, but not all the time, because that's not how you win races.
Right, that's very true.
But we don't race around here.
right, only at the track.
Exactly.
And where it's legal. It's not super sleek or nothing like that. You know, it's not like a Lambo. You probably won't even get any head turns in this car, but as far as like the inside, that's where it really hits hard. I'll let you drive and get a feel for things. And
oh, you gonna let me drive it?
Yeah, man. Your insurance paid up, right?
Yeah. That's nice. Alright, so what mode am I in now? What's the default?
You're in comfort.
Okay. I don't know if I need to get out of that. Oh, okay. I feel the bolster.
You might need to. With comfort, there's like some lag and whatnot.
Yeah.
So when you're trying to make a turn, like sometimes you'll forget that, and you're like, oh, I got, you know, plenty of time to go. Next thing you know, you hit the gas, and it's like 2 seconds later. Then you go.
Yeah, that's so trippy. Every time you turn right, the left bolster pops up, so you get a little extra snug. See, this is nice.
I think it's a Mercedes signature move. I think they're going away with it in the newer cars now, but I don't think any other manufacturer has implemented that.
And this transmission, do you know if they make these in manuals?
They do not.
That's a shame, but that's probably too much power for the manual transmission.
Yeah.
Okay, a little baby one, get a little feel for it.
Baby.
Man, I love this bolster thing. This is
That's nice, isn't it?
I just want one just for that.
You want the massage?
Yeah, this is a lot of car.
Indeed.
You're just driving around like a normal person. What, 77 horsepower?
Yep.
Wild. Now I'm gonna get in my car and I'm gonna think it's slow.
It'll do that.
I miss the sound of a V8. Pretty quick shift in transmission, even in just comfort.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, it's not the dual clutch, but it's better than like your regular transmission. I think it's got like a upgraded torque converter or something like that.
Yeah. Glad I didn't scare you too much in those turns.
Yeah, it's all good.
You're like, you know what? He said he's driven these roads before. I trust him.
Yeah. I mean, you got the Beamer, you know. I trust you. You've been driving, sports cars for a while.
Yeah, with this, it's cool with this one because like you always think it's gonna slide out a little bit, but nothing.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like it held those corners. Like I was like, oh yeah, you can take a little bit more than that, but not me.
So after driving it, you feel like the power is pretty linear? Do you even like feel the turbo kick in or anything?
No, I'd say honestly, if I didn't know that it had 2 turbos in there, I would think that it's naturally aspirated. I really would. There's not a lot of lag that I'm picking up on. You don't even get much turbo noise over the V8, so you don't realize that there are turbos under there. Question is, how often do you get on it?
Man, all the time. Honestly, not all the time, but pretty often.
Yeah.
I feel pretty confident in like the reliability and whatnot, especially engine and transmission. But pretty often, it's got so much power that you can't use it all the time. But you do have times where you can full throttle pretty easily, especially like from a dig and stuff like that.
This is my first real Mercedes experience, and I appreciate you for that because you taught me a lot, and honestly you opened up a whole new world of car love for me. I've always respected Mercedes, but I just picked a German brand and went straight to BMW, and I never looked back. So I appreciate you sharing all the knowledge with me and everybody else who watches. So
No problem.
you close this out and let them know what else you got for them, if you got any last minute things you might have thought of, or where they can find you if they got questions about Mercedes ownership or anything.
Well, if you're looking for me, you can find me in the fast lane. As far as anything I'd recommend, just if you want to get one of these, I'd go ahead and do it. Try to get a warranty if you can. I've got a warranty on mine, 2014 with 114,000 miles. I've got a pretty good warranty, almost bumper to bumper, and paid about $3,600 for the warranty, 3-year 36, and covers a lot of stuff. Even the warranty I got, like it covers the like the brakes. Brakes on this vehicle can be very expensive, so keep that in mind. It's going to be a couple grand paying brakes and rotors for this vehicle. But other than that, I think it's kind of cheap to. I wouldn't say cheap like a Corolla cheap, but cheap for what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, to maintain it. And especially if you're like a backyard mechanic, like this is it. Highly recommended.
Yeah, you heard it. He's loving it. He's living it. And like I said earlier, we talked about the different cars that Keith's had, and he's gone from Camaro to this Maserati in between. We got some Corvettes in there. He's even got those little Cadillac EXT. So there's all different rides that he's owned. So for him to land on this Mercedes, it's saying something. He really appreciates it. And thank you guys for checking out another video. Hope you guys like this one, and subscribe, like, all that good stuff, and I'll see you on the next one.
Try to get a little outroll.